Yo, now locked into the Crossover DXB with myself, Myers International and Freek TV.
Hey.
How's it going, bro?
Good, man. How you been, bro?
I've been good. How's your week?
Chilling, man. It's been a bit hectic. Can't complain, though.
Yeah, it gets busy. Like that. It gets like that. Now, this week, Freek shouted me after the gym and said, yo, I've got someone for you to meet. Come down. We're having a shisha. He knows I love a shisha, so it don't take that much. He could have been by himself. I probably would have came down there. You know what I'm saying? So I went down there. I met some other people other than the person that's sitting here today. Mm-hmm. You never know. Eventually, they're in the building, so eventually they could end up on there and,
gang.
We can end up chopping it up. But there's, a few man them in there today coming to show support. So shout out everyone that's in the building. So yeah, I met this individual. Seemed very cool. A little bit mysterious, so we're going to get into that. Again, cannot express that this ain't an interview, it's just a conversation. Understand? So we have today Creations of LA. How's it going, my bro?
I'm good, thank you, bro. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Do you know what? It wasn't even an invite. It was just more organic. It was more of a thing of, you know what? We're shooting on X day. If you want to come down, come down. Right. And you happen to be here.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all organic. You understand? You know the vibes?
100%. Reciprocated, brother.
Yeah. So, Creations.
Yes, sir, bro.
Hopefully I can call you that. Or do I have to call you Creations at LA every time?
No, you call me LA.
You understand? I have to get a tongue twister. It's going to take a while to get.
There's a lot of people that just call me Creations and I just go with it.
Yeah.
Because it's I don't bother kind of correcting anybody. But
Yeah.
LA is easier for everybody to kind of remember.
Okay, so I might be calling you Creations or LA or Creations at LA throughout the
Let's go.
The talk. But yeah, bro, where's the name derived from?
So when I kind of transitioned into doing photography, the first camera I had was a camera that I kind of took off somebody, and it was a family camera, the point and shoot. But when I took a few pictures of my friends and I went on Facebook and I wanted to create my first album, the spacebar wasn't working.
Okay.
I wanted to kind of be like LA, the Creator, or just because I got that inspiration from Tyler, the Creator, and a few other artists. But then when I typed in Creations of LA, it felt so smooth and the spacebar wasn't working, so it kind of stuck as just a one-word thing.
Yeah. I think it fits, to be fair. I think it fits and it flows. It flows.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is that, when I sat down and ordered my shisha, obviously I had to get the watermelon smooth on the throat. You know what I'm saying? So anyone that wants to sit down and have a shisha with me, and before I get there, just order me a watermelon. I can't really do the mint thing. And I think what was funny is that I came in between you and Freek having a conversation.
Right.
And I didn't want to necessarily interrupt. But I think you guys were talking about a company that had sent you, or you had picked up a product to, it was kind of like they gifted you something, right. Which you would, promote on your Instagram. Right. And it's funny because the first thing I said to you is after I shook your hand and stuff, I said, oh, so, what do you do? Are you an influencer? Mm-hmm. And speak on that, because I think, you rightly corrected me and said, no, this is what I do. Right. The connotation influencer is X, Y, and Z.
Right.
What was the word you used? Was it creative?
No, because when you have a lot of followers in the Middle East, automatically you're considered an influencer. Some people that is following you, hey, we want to use you to promote our products. But the word influencer has a weird stigma that as soon as somebody takes a picture of themselves, they're considered an influencer. So it kind of, it has a bad rep.
Okay.
What I was explaining to you the other day is that I am not an influencer, because what I do is that I spend a lot of time creating imagery, creating visuals that represent a story, essentially. So what I am considered, and I see myself as somebody that inspires.
Okay.
So I inspire. I'm an inspirer.
Okay. I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word?
Inspire.
Is that a word in? Freek might be able to break it down whether that's a word in Arabic or not. You understand?
Bro, to be honest, for me, obviously, you bring more to the table than someone that just take a photo and just post it somewhere. Like it's more deeper than that. And if people just look at it and be like, how did you do that? Like, that's the best comment you ever can get from anything when it comes to visuals. How did you do that? You'd be like, all right, okay. Like I'm doing something right. You know?
So I think the message that you was trying to portray was there's more to me than an influencer. 100%. But like you said, there seems to be a negative connotation towards it.
Absolutely.
But I must ask, like, why is that? I agree, but when I look into it, actually, there's a lot of quote unquote influencers that are doing very well, like making a living.
Yeah.
So if that is a job title, why is that a negative thing?
I mean, the real influencers are seen on like Forbes or Time magazine. Those are influencers. Those are whatever they do. You're just like, I need to follow that.
Okay.
Trendsetters. But when you go to a place where you just, because I've seen influencers per se release a product after they've, gained a lot of followers. Nobody's buying that. Nobody wants to do what you want to do. The brands are only using you because they're blinded by the followers.
Right.
The content, the reputation, the people that you're associated with, what you've created, all that is a whole story around you. But if you just have followers, then what?
So technically, if you're trendy, like you can be considered an influencer anyway. Like you cannot be an influencer by itself. Would you say that for example, if you're a pop star, then you're also an influencer. If you're an artist, then you're also an influencer. If you're trendy or you're into fashion, you're also an influencer.
I start to get confused nowadays because there's a lot of names when it comes to these things, right? There's an influencer and there's a public figure. I don't know what the hell is the difference, bro.
But keep in mind something. Notice that what you just said, influencers, pop star, this, that, that's their title. Pop star is their title. How can you be an influencer as a title?
Yeah, I don't think.
What do you do?
You influence people.
Yeah, but doing what though? You have to influence someone doing what? You can't influence someone doing influencing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
It's deep.
So I think you're right, and that basically has to come from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's more the front end stuff. The back end, what is it that you do? How did you get to this stage to be able to influence people? Because there's people that call themselves influencers, bro. You're not influencing anyone.
Yeah.
You're not influencing people that are following you. You're not influencing the culture.
Yeah.
You're not influencing whatever industry you're in.
Right.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to those people, but I think what you was trying to say that there's more to you.
It has a foundation that you need to rely on to be influencing. Like for instance, me sitting down with you both.
Yeah.
You're influencing me more than those people on Instagram.
Wow, man, you should be happy, bro.
There's because there's like it's like there's wisdom, there's knowledge that we're sharing right now. That whatever we're talking about, you're teaching me new things that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Same with you. But that is considered influence.
So I think what the issue is here, is people associate influencer by the number of followers you have on social media. When there's a lot of influencers that don't necessarily have social media, or people that influence don't have social media,
Yeah.
So does that mean that they're not influencers? Does that mean that they don't influence? They're still, do you know what I'm saying, part of that demographic.
Exactly.
So I think people get blinded by the light, because there's times where you see somebody that's got 300k following for whatever reason, but you got like 150 likes, bro. This ain't really adding up. So who are you influencing?
Followers.
At this point they're buying followers.
There you go,
bro.
There you go. But let's have it right.
Deep conversation.
Wait. Do you know what? Like, I think it's worth speaking about. Innit? Like, we're in Dubai. You understand? It's the hub of the world. Some people may coin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are things to speak about, and obviously this is something that is kind of known and accepted globally. Yeah. But I think we would be lying if we said that we were not brainwashed by numbers to an extent. Like, whether we want to admit it or not, I've been in a situation where I don't know someone, and I seen their following. I'm like, right, they got a big following. So who is this person? Do you know what I'm saying? Like naturally, without even realizing.
Exactly.
Because he must be influencing to a degree.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't judge that person's character. It's just that what is he doing or what is she doing in order to have that element of following.
Yeah.
And then you dig into it and see whether their likes match up with the following and stuff like that. But I think it's worth speaking about.
Yeah.
100%. At this point, it also kind of garnered a new direction in this whole influencer scene.
Yeah.
Micro-influencers.
Yeah, okay, so speak on that.
Now you have 5,000 followers. You're a micro-influencer because you're taking pictures of shoes.
Right.
You're taking pictures of street style. You know what? Now a brand is going to send you stuff because you have people liking your stuff at a smaller
See, I've never even heard that term before, micro-influencer.
Yeah.
So does that mean that they're an influencer on a particular field or area, or it just means that they're a smaller influencer?
The same thing.
See, this is what I don't understand, because then, all right, so how many people do you have to influence to get that promotion to be called an influencer from a micro-influencer?
But it's not about the following at this point. It's about the brands strategizing and finessing the situation without paying.
Right.
Just micro-influencer, oh, you have 5,000, let me give you $200.
Right.
It's small. You don't need that money anyways.
Okay.
You're starting off. This is an experience for you. So they kind of like go towards those people if they can't afford the big people, when the big people are just like, look at my followers, I'm a real influencer.
Yeah.
So there's just like a little weird situation going on with brands and influencers.
Yeah. I hear that.
Do people actually look at your followers and then judge you by that, and they don't actually look at your content?
Some brands do, yeah.
Really?
They don't really.
Oh, bro, the thing
Is that? Do you see that as a disrespect?
Oh,
obviously.
100%.
It's disrespect for everyone.
Yeah.
I can drop so many brands and names and whatever, but the thing is, what they do, they come to your thing. They don't see the portfolio that you've worked on. They just see the numbers. They be like, okay, where are these people based?
Right.
They want to know who they're hitting.
Right. So there's a demographic within that following.
It's just like I can create a region-based campaign for you, so you can use it on your platforms. But we also want you to promote, okay? And then then they start breaking down your demographics and your age and the locations, and I'm just like, you're going too far into this.
Yeah.
I'm creating something that's going to be timeless.
Yeah.
I'm not creating something that's just whatever. That's why a lot of times when I post on my story, it's things that I want to show support, but I'm not going to invest my time into it.
Right. So I suppose what we're saying is when you overanalyze and, you structure the influencing, quote unquote, then you're taking away the organicness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's not true to what it seems to be. What would you say, Freek?
Because I wanted to ask you a question about that. Like as a businessman right now, how do you actually promote a product that you want to promote? Like based on like demographic or the design you have, and you'd be like, okay, this actually fits the Middle East. This actually fits.
I think for me, like running the business, you have to see new and innovative ways to market. Yeah. So me and my business partner have never once sat down and spoke about getting a billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road.
Yeah.
Because for us, that's the older type of trying to promote. When I say older, I don't mean the demographic, like the age group. I mean, that's an old school way. I think it's very, digital. Everything's on a platform now and everyone's on their phones and stuff like that. So that's the first thing, yeah. Then the second thing is, for me, the key thing is just whether it's organic. Does that person fit the brand? Is that person invested in the brand? Do you know what I'm saying? If I give that person a product, are they going to appreciate the product, or are they just going to take a picture of it and throw it down?
Yeah.
Because I want you to actually experience the product. I want you to actually fall in love with the product. And also the influencers that we work with, quote unquote, you understand? One, they're invested, and two, they use the product. And three, it's a weird one, because what you want to build is confidence in the consumer. So, for example, if I give you a product, they say, oh, well, Freek's work is established, or we know what he's about, or, it's different if I work in for a Nike, but I've seen you post Adidas, Puma, Fila.
Yeah.
Don't take my brand.
Yeah.
I don't want you because you're just working with anyone.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
not.
that's me for a certain extent, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong.
Lately, oh
Don't get me wrong. Get the bag, bro. Like, you're an artist, innit? You're up and coming.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing. You're breaking the Arabic market. Yeah. Which, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking from the business perspective. Now, if I'm, you know, the artist, then yeah, wherever the bag is at, I've got to survive. We're in the middle of Corona. It's got to make sense.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, think of like the long term. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think businesses need to.
Sometimes royalties don't work when it comes to like certain things unless everything is written on a paper. Otherwise, it's just you're living in a dream, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if I actually love the brand, then I'll work on it. But like I can't just commit on something that there's nothing coming out of it. At the moment,
and I suppose one hand washes the other, because you know what they're trying to get out of you. You know what you're trying to get out of them.
Yeah.
They know that if, you know, another Arabic rapper that is on fire at the minute, they'll go to them. They're not going to keep coming to you. So
yeah, definitely.
That's the relationship.
Exactly.
You might have different relationship with different brands for different reasons.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Fact.
But I think that's an interesting topic with regards to influencer, because let's not get it wrong that, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen over the last 5 years, there's a lot of benefits, not getting things for free, but also being paid. Like there's girls and guys out there that's their full-time job.
Yeah.
Do you know, and it pays more than a 9 to 5. So why does the term influencer be looked at in a certain way, but they earn more than, I don't know, a lawyer?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, you know, how do we look at it? How do we view it?
I think now there's a rule, like you need to have a license to actually be a influencer, a publisher.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you have to, you need like a proper
A license.
Yeah.
In order for you to get paid, you have to
on
have
campaigns.
A visa.
Right. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
for
So
me, I'm just like, I have my license under a photographer,
okay.
creative, whatever.
But you have a company, it's different.
Yeah.
Some people don't have a company, they just have a Instagram page and they keep promoting other companies. You can get fined now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I say that to say this. You know, we went out for some shisha the other day, and I don't know if you realized, but we were catching up quite a lot. We were there for we must have been there for what, like 2-3 hours,
yeah.
smoking shisha and catching up, and it was a vibe. And you know, you said that, you know, you're creative and you inspire, and not once did I say, "Oh, what's your Instagram, bro?"
Yeah, facts.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because I want to get to know you
Facts.
as a person, as an individual.
Right.
You understand? I'm not running to what's the numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the influence? What's the platform saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's what we're losing
Right.
in this time. You know what I'm saying? In this
it changes perspective how you treat the other person once you kind of see that.
yeah.
You know, when sometimes when you're around people and the person's like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" and the person has low followers, especially in LA, it's just like, "Oh, you have 2,000 followers. All right, you don't benefit me."
Bro,
Madness.
can I share a story?
100%.
Go ahead.
Please.
Obviously without saying names, yeah? Because I think we made a deal, right?
Hey, if you want to spray
Bro,
away.
one
like.
time I was in an event, right? And then my boy was with me. And then this guy would, you know, a bit of followers. A lot of, let's say a lot of followers, right? So I introduced him to my boy, and then he's like, yeah, give me your Instagram. So my boy follows him, and then the guy follows him, and then he's like, and I saw that face expression, like, yo,
jeez.
but you're less than 10K. How am I gonna follow you? You know?
Right.
And then, bro, he followed him, and then three hours later, he just unfollowed him. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm
That's
like,
weak.
bro, like we were just chilling for like 3 hours. You guys were vibing, like, just consider that, you know, like consider this guy is a cool guy.
That's solely all off the numbers.
Yeah,
Nothing
nowadays,
else.
because he doesn't want to put people. It's like a profile nowadays. Like if people want to go to my profile and see me following, like people with like 5,000 followers, it's like this guy doesn't know a lot of like good people. He doesn't know a lot of successful people. You know.
So right off of that, the way I do it is that I don't follow anybody until I meet them. Once I get to know them and I vibe with you, I follow.
Okay.
And if you're just a person I'm collaborating with, some guy who's like, yo, let's collaborate, let's work together, I won't follow you until I meet you, because sometimes the people I work with are weak. They're just like disrespectful, they're cocky, they're not the person I vibe with. And as soon as I actually vibe with you, whether you have 300 followers, because I believe in potential, bro.
Yeah.
Because one day you blow up.
Yeah.
So what?
And I think
back?
I think what is missed heavily as well, and this is a secret, is that like you can be doing a lot outside of social media. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, 100%. You know, I might not post anything today, so everyone thinks I'm at home, but I'm cooking up something behind the scenes. Fact. Not everything has to be documented.
Yeah.
And you can use that to your benefit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that art is being lost. And I think then what we're doing is, if we're just going to look at followers, then the next generation, we are breeding clout chasers. Now everyone thinks, right, you know, I know people that would rather 1 million followers than $1 million. And it might not be a bad thing, as long as, you know, what are you going to be able to exchange that into a living, or is it just solely clout that you want?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think you know, it's a good conversation to have, because it's all very new, you know, transitioning into the social, the digital side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of businessmen, like very successful businessmen, and don't have social media.
100%. The most successful people are the people that don't promote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you notice, the rich people don't promote their cars. They don't promote their money or jewelry.
Yeah.
The people who want the clout want to remind other people, like, look, I got a car.
Yeah.
The people who just always are flexing money or jewelry or just for the sake of it,
yeah,
they don't have that money.
Yeah. I think again, like, even touching on that, I've been around different types of people, and the people that are doing well are not impressed by certain things, so they might not take a picture of it, but you know, it might impress other people. People take pictures or show things that they think is entertainment for others, or out of the ordinary for others, because no one's showing what bad things are happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where you know where to pin people, because they will show you what they think is important or what their following wants to see. And then you can kind of work out, all right, you know, what space are they in and stuff like that. You might get people that just, you know, post their dogs and their family members and stuff like that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And then you have someone else that might post, I don't know, watches or chains and stuff like that. Listen, I'm not here to judge anybody, innit? Yeah. And if it's business, if it's from a business perspective, then post
if it's helping your business, then
because look, my Instagram, my online platform is 100% something that I do full time.
Right.
So everything that I post is for creative, entertainment, the whole vibe visually. But there was an article that I came across, I think a couple of years ago, where there's a couple that traveled the world, bro. They were just going to Maldives, they're going to Australia, they're going to go everywhere, just taking pictures of the whole travel, picturesque kind of vibe. It turns out that they're broke, and they were taking their money from their mom, who worked 3 jobs, to provide that.
Yeah.
They were living that lifestyle. So you can't believe everything you see.
Definitely.
Everything is a perspective. It's just like whatever they post, don't take it with a grain of salt, bro.
Wow.
Definitely.
Everything is so created, and everything is a highlight pretty much. It's curated to make it look appealing. Yeah. But reality is, if you come across a person, like me coming across you and me coming across you, I know how you guys live.
Yeah.
And I understand it. But whenever you see somebody post something so crazy, don't be like, oh my God, he's living the life. No, just calm down. Yeah. Just keep watching, follow, be inspired and shit.
I've actually seen things that, like, if I post it, people are going to think I'm way past than where I am. So I won't, because it's not giving the wrong impression. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
But then are you doing it for them or doing it for yourself?
See, that's a good question. I'd like to answer it that it's for myself, because I don't want to portray. I'm not in a business right now where I need to portray something that I'm not. So I'd like to keep it true to self. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, one might argue, bro, why you care about what people think? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that I care about what people think. I care what I think. Yeah. How am I going to view it?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, LA, about those guys that went to Maldives. Did they go viral though?
Oh, they went. Yeah, no,
But
I mean,
then they won, bro.
Yes,
No, no,
And
no,
it worked.
I mean,
Because companies pay a lot of money to go viral. Like
See?
these guys just
that
did
could be that could be seen as an investment.
bro. That could be just an ad or something from Maldives. You know?
Bad, bad publicity is good publicity, whatever. But it isn't good because a lot of the resorts want that kind of like respect and reputation that comes with the people they invite to influence.
Right.
They don't want people who just like take money and exploit their family to get that lifestyle that they see everywhere.
Damn.
But I was going to say something, though. I studied marketing. And one thing that stood out to me in marketing is that never lie, ever, with marketing, but exaggerate the truth.
Okay.
And that, to me, is powerful, but there's a lot of people. For instance, my homie's got a car, right? He picks me up in the car. I take a picture of the car. I'm not saying it's my car. I'm not lying because it's my homie's car. When I put it, it's exaggerating the truth.
Right.
But there's people that actually go out of their way, renting a car. It's my car. I'm living the life type of shit. That's a lie.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a fine line between the two.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
market, if you're great at marketing, you'll market it right in order to kind of, get that following, get that audience that respect the way you live your life and whatever.
Yeah.
But then people want that clout, and they kind of get a little derailed, and they start kind of running off in a deep hole of just like, that's not my life. But I'm so addicted to that. I need to keep repeating it.
Bro, I think certain people they won't say it. They won't until someone be like, "Oh, is that your car?" And he's gonna be like, yeah, it's my car. You know what I mean? It's always gonna come down to this guy that asks you a question.
I just think I don't mind anything because I'm not here to judge, but as long as there's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Someone's means to an end might be, in the long run, they're going to build a following. They're going to somehow capitalize on their following, which eventually is finances, which allows them to feed their families. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Do your thing. Do you understand? I know loads of superstars, you think they're millionaires, but they're putting on a show in order for to be millionaires. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, someone might be doing this solely to feed their self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of unhappy people behind the camera.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then especially, like, we're in a space of, people need to take care of their mental health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, go on.
But I don't think, and that's what a lot of people get wrong. I don't think it's about followers, bro. It's about you creating a legacy that lives past the following. Because following, sooner or later, you'll hit your kind of plateau and that's it.
Yeah.
But your art that you create or whatever you create, let's say it's not art, whatever it is, you create that. And that is what connects people together. That's what people will run after. Yes, of course, those people who are kind of delusional will be like, oh, you have followers. Yeah, I'm going to follow you. Then what? Then you understand that their content is not really that great. It's selfie. Oh, coffee cup.
Yeah.
But if you kind of follow a person who just focuses on art, whether he has 2,000 followers, 100K followers, it's that what just has the substance behind it.
Yeah.
That will kind of build more of a influence or a following.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah. Well, I think you mentioned, like, you were talking about LA. Did you say something with regards to the LA? Yeah. All right, cool. So what? Where have you been to shoot? Is it just Dubai that you're based, or have you been traveling? On the back of a company requesting you to come out. Like, talk to me. I don't really understand this thing. I want you to educate.
100%.
Because there's going to be people watching this from wherever, and you might inspire them. Like you already said, you're an inspirer. You know what I'm saying? That's a new phase. You know what I'm saying? So there's people that want to effectively get where you are and try to follow your blueprint. Although I would say everyone's got their own avenue, but speak on that. Where have you been? Where would you say is best? What experiences have you had?
I mean, man, a small recap. I was born in Montreal.
Okay.
Moved to Saudi Arabia for 5 years when I was a kid. And then we went back to Canada, Ottawa, the capital city of Canada. Over time, I was really drawn to books because it has the stories, the sci-fis, everything that is not real, I was always attracted to. And then I started drawing a lot. And from drawing, I kind of got into dancing. Started dancing, cruise, battling, whatever. And then it got to a point while I was dancing,
Well, like body popping it.
Huh?
What body popping and all that?
Hip hop or popping.
Yeah, we say you can't boss a move for man right now. Yeah, go on.
There was a battle that I was a part of that I kind of organized because there was one guy that wanted to battle. I just brought some speakers. I put my iPod on shuffle, and then we battled. And there was a lot of turnout because at the end of the day, I wanted to create somewhat of an area where a lot of people just show that there's a dance community in Ottawa.
Okay.
But there was these pioneer, old school poppers, b-boys that came out. They're like, "What is this, a rave, bro? Where's the respect for hip hop? Where's the graffiti? Where's the DJs? Where's everything?" And that kind of really hurt because I just wanted to dance, bro. I wanted to, be a part of a community that, anyways, I was really discouraged. But because I had that camera, I started filming myself dancing. The more I started filming myself dancing, I fell in love with the whole idea of filming. Started filming, stopped dancing. Then I found out it was time consuming. I went to Toronto at that point, and I started getting to know a lot of people. And through one person, went to the studio. Then some people were kind of club promoters. They brought artists. And one thing as well in marketing is to network as much as possible.
Right. They say your network is your net worth, isn't it?
100%. 100%. And the more even though at that time I was really broke and it came to a point where I was homeless for 3 months, shout out Tim Hortons, there was a 24-hour Tim Hortons on Queen West in Toronto. Mornings, I would, during the nights I would stay there just photoshopping, taking celebrity pictures that I found online, and I would Photoshop them into this geometric kind of art, and I would kind of like post it and tag them for them to repost. And during the day, I would go to my friend's house, pass out, so I don't have to kind of be imposing during the night. And then I went to LA for the first time just to kind of capture, I just wanted to do something because the idea of traveling, because once you're in a city, nobody really supports you. When you're in a city working with other same creatives, nobody supports you. And I felt that when I went to Toronto, because a kid from Ottawa coming to Toronto trying to do something, people from Toronto already have a community.
Right.
And it's just like, yo, who's this kid?
Yeah. Probably similar to like London and then someone from Manchester coming and,
straight, yeah.
You have to earn your stripes.
100%, 100%. So I decided I'm going to go to LA. So now people in Toronto be like, did this guy just make it? But when I was in LA, people was like, who's this kid? Trying to come here, trying to make it out here. It was hard to kind of communicate with people and trying to get to know them. So the story in LA is so crazy because when I went down, I stayed with a friend for like 3 days and he's like, yeah, you got to leave, bro.
Yeah.
Here for 3 days.
You're stretching it.
3 days. I was like, what are you doing, And then I hit up a friend and they're like, yo, I know a guy who has cars up in the hills. I'm like, oh, word, I want to film it. And in my head, I'm just like, yo, I got nowhere to stay. So on my map, I put it down, and then I'm just like, I'm right here. It's right in front of me. Then I look up, it's just like a hill, bro.
Right.
Yo, I got to go to the top. When I got to the top, the guy's like, oh, you're the homie's friend. Turns out this guy is one of the biggest drug kingpins.
Right.
Jeez.
He's like, yo, I have a camera. You could use this if you want. I'm like, yo, how do you have so much equipment? He's like, one of the guys who owes me a lot of money. He's like,
right.
I'm like, yo. He's like, yo, come by tonight. I'm like, all right, cool. So I pulled up in a taxi. I told him, can I stay for a few days? I'll film everything,
Yeah.
So I got a spot.
What? So hold on. You was comfortable to say that, like,
bro?
knowing ways.
I had no choice.
Right.
If you have a kind of choice, you'd be like, you feel kind of like, yo, I'm using this guy. But if you don't have anything, I'm gonna.
Sometimes when you're backed up into the corner, that's when you perform the best.
110%. 110%.
And there's no reward without risk. So
yeah, bro.
And it makes a good story as well.
I was willing to take the risk, and if you said no, I'll find a way.
Yeah.
I'll hit up everybody. But that was at that point of me starting to get into what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to network and see where my life takes me. And a lot of people can't take risks because they're afraid to be rejected.
Yeah.
And rejection is part of the way. It makes you stronger. It makes you be like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen regardless.
Yeah.
So that night when I went back up in a taxi, once I got through the gate, there were like 2 cop cars with like lights without sound. It's like, yo, what's going on? And the guy met me. He's like, hey, LA, how are you, man? And he was with the cops. He's like, this guy is my photographer from Toronto.
Whoa.
To the cops. It's like, is he trying to make it look like he's a nice guy or whatever?
Yeah.
So I went, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on? To the guys that were playing poker in the back. You know, they hit it kind of thing. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, they're looking for hostages.
Raw. Little do you know, you was one of the hostages, you know, fam. They're coming to save you. You understand?
I let them know.
No, because I guess he wanted to show them that they have a random person here. And
he's part of the, yeah.
Safe, yo. Look,
that's mad.
hey, LA, say hi. It's like, what's going on, you know? I'm like, yo, but you know what? I need a spot.
Yeah. These times the equipment probably had mad stuff in it. You know,
Bro, probably, yeah.
No battery, just, you understand? Like, everything else. So, yeah, go ahead. So you started shooting for him. And what is that where you started to get a base?
I did create a video for him, but at the same time use that to create a video for me for my YouTube.
Right.
And a lot of people in Toronto is like, damn, you made it, bro. And there's some people in Toronto is like, yo, let's work.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I was like, finally, you know, in my head, I was like, finally, I posted like, yo, if you made it, no. I was like, finally, I'm getting some kind of like acknowledgement. But I went back and still, there's that kind of like, you know, you're not from here.
When
bro.
was this though? Which year? Do you remember?
2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my mom's like, yo, come to Saudi. You know, and I had at that point made a deal with a brand, and they gave me like $500 a month, $500 every 2 weeks, or $300 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I was like, bro,
yeah, that's enough to live on.
100%. Rent is paid, you know, extra for food, that's it. So when I went to Saudi Arabia, I wanted to go to Dubai. I booked a whole week to Dubai. After my trip in Saudi, I went to Dubai. It turns out Dubai and Canada weren't on the best terms because of the plane parking.
Right.
So when I got there, they're just like, yo, you have to pay for a visa. It's like, bro, I don't have money to pay for a visa. What are you talking about? It's like, sorry, you can't come in. I'm like, yo, I'm here for a week. What am I going to do in the airport, chill for a week?
Yeah.
I was pissed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm coming to Dubai no matter what. Second round I came. I'm like so excited. And that's the story that I want to tell you earlier. I was taking pictures, filming, whatever, you know. I walked into the frozen yogurt shop.
Yeah.
And I ordered something. And at that point, I was posting everything, bro. Taking a picture of Coca-Cola, posting.
Yeah. It's content, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I grabbed it. I'm like, yo, what's your Instagram, bro? Let me post this. What's Instagram?
Wow.
Light bulb. Pop.
Right.
I'm like, holy, because everywhere in Toronto, LA, New York, whatever, everybody's content. I'm like, gold mine, bro. This is all mine.
So what year was this then?
This was 5.5 years ago, bro.
Okay.
5.5 years ago. And that's why I love it here, because in 5.5 years, look where it's at.
Yeah.
It's grown so much. And I'm just like, I was part of that growth in a way, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'd rather be in a place where I can nurture the baby, the city, be a part of that nurturing, opposed to someone who's grown in LA where just like that person doesn't want to listen to you.
Yeah. So do you think it was that particular person that didn't have Instagram, or, you know, the space as a whole, the place as a whole was a little bit behind? I think, Freek, you could probably talk on that. Like 5 years ago, what would you say, you know, was Facebook, Instagram kind of?
No, it was kind of popping like 5 years ago. That was in 2015, right? 2015,
2014, 2015. Yeah.
I remember, bro. I was because I had my YouTube channel since 2011.
Right.
I used to do comedy skits from back in the days. You know, me and Carter. Shout out to Carter. You know, and and like we used to like. Obviously, it was slow here. No one was on it, but Saudi. These guys were on YouTube since the beginning because that was their only thing they can watch, you know, and not the only thing they can watch, but like there was no cinemas, nothing. So, so they put all their creative in YouTube, and they made huge content, you know.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was so engaged fully on YouTube, and then when Instagram came on, I'm like, I didn't have a good phone to take photos anyway. I probably had like one of those shitty fucking and like bootleg iPhones, you know.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even putting a lot of energy in Instagram like that, but YouTube, I was on it. Like, I used to borrow cameras, you know, not return it for a couple of months, shoot millions.
So it's fair to say that the transition wasn't 100% there yet, like you said. So there was an avenue.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of, you know, Dubai, UAE, because, you know, you come over and bring what is going on where you're from and bring it to a hub. Yeah. Then you have that overlap. You have that crossover.
Right.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you earlier about off camera. We're talking about how you don't think in English when you talk Arabic and vice versa. Right?
Yeah. So for me,
so you can speak Arabic,
broken Arabic.
Okay.
It's kind of
So you can speak Barabic. That's a dead joke. Still, might have to cut that one out. That's an edit.
And it was like,
yeah, go ahead.
No.
What does this guy say?
Wait. We're cutting that one out. Still, go on. So when you say broken Arabic, you mean what, like slang or?
No. Broken Arabic, I cannot formulate sentences when it comes down to having a full-out conversation. So it's going to be, majority of the words are going to be in English. And I'll throw in some Arabic words to kind of like, hey, look, I can speak Arabic.
to make it up.
But
Okay.
the thing is, what I meant is, when I speak in English, I have to think about the words, and I also have to focus on the emphasis of certain things that I say in order for it to kind of like be felt. In Arabic, I don't think. It's just natural. It's like, yo, you feel it. When you say something, it's just like so powerful, but in English, it's not, I don't feel that power. So I feel like when you speak in English, you think differently. And in Arabic,
That's interesting.
you have a different, I guess, a different part of the brain that you use.
Yeah. And it's always, I always noticed, because the other day we were playing basketball, when he got pissed, he was like, yeah, kelb. And straight away the Arabic comes out of it. You know?
Right.
And he's like, man, let's play basketball. And then when he gets pissed, it's just all Arabic.
Maybe because like English American is universal.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's to cover like the globe as such, where, you know, if you speak something that is, large in its own right, but not the go-to language, then it might be seen as more expressive. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like whether you're speaking Arabic or Nigerian, Yoruba, or whatever it is, it's more expressive because it derives from a place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what about as if it's maybe the reason being is it's a second language as well? Because when you have your first language is something that you don't really think it's so natural that it comes out smoothly. But in English, you got to think before you speak in a way. Because when you speak Arabic, do you think too much when you speak in English? Do you want the way you say things, what you say? Just all these things, delivery from beginning to delivery. Do you feel a different kind of approach to it?
Yeah, because the delivery is kind of different.
Exactly.
In English. Like, it's not... In Arabic, you can say weird things and it still makes sense.
See, what's funny is that, sorry to cut you, is that like your first language is English, yeah?
No, Arabic.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's why it comes out. But do you speak Jamaican?
Yeah, I can speak patois. Yeah, I can speak patois. Yeah,
well, like broken or...
Broken? No, do you know what it is,
But patois is kind of English, right?
Yeah. With Jamaican, like my grandparents are Jamaican.
Yeah.
So when I'm around them, like I have to listen because they speak like broken Jamaican as well. So it's slang and, certain terminologies that's from there.
Yeah.
But naturally, when you're around, Jamaican people, you just start to speak Jamaican, or even in in that sort of tone. There's certain words that like kind of directly translate because they call it patois, yeah. But it's broken English. Do you know what I'm saying? But, if we're going to speak about Jamaica, it's very, very influential, like around the world. You might meet someone that says Wagwan or stuff like that and not necessarily know what it means, but because it's just become part of the culture. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm starting to see...
What was your first expression when someone was like, Wagwan, bro?
Bro, you know what? Like when someone externally...
Yeah.
Bro, I was looking at me... What's going on? Like, that person didn't even know he was speaking Jamaican. He just thought that's a slang term, like a British slang term. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's funny when you talk about languages because I think Toronto and the UK is very close. I was about to
get to that. So, you know how the whole community in Toronto, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, they use a lot of patois, right? So one of my boys from the UK just like, yo, Drake is copying UK so hard, bro, with the patois. I'm like, nah, that's the community down there that influenced that. And there is that connection to the UK because there's also a large community there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But there it is so similar, and the influence of that is so crazy because no matter the accent, it still sounds the same.
Yeah. It's very similar. And I think that's why there's that relationship. If we must feel comfortable to kind of come over and speak his way, and we can relate to it, and vice versa. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you ain't got to directly translate certain things because it just goes hand in hand. Yeah. You feel me?
And then in the middle where Somalis actually invaded this and added the wallahi and everything.
Yeah.
In Canada and the UK.
Yeah. Speak on that.
I don't know what the hell happened, bro.
I'm not being funny because over the last recent years, I'm starting to see a lot of Somali influence.
Bro, it's crazy. Bro, you should tell me about it, bro. I was here all my life and I saw it happening in music. I'm like, bro, this guy just said up to you in the track. And I'm like, it's crazy. You know?
And that means uncle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
See? How would I know that?
Bro, God knows, bro. But it's kind of funny, bro, because at the beginning, like, because I know my cousins
That's that Arabic, by the way, but anyway.
Bro, stop being this joke, bro. Stop.
Yeah, go on. I tried to bring, you know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, a lot of Somalis traveled to Canada and the UK in the 80s, kind of?
I have no clue.
80s and the 90s. Because I remember that was my cousin was like, yo, he was laying in my house like, yo, peace out. And mom was like, where are you going? It was like 3 a.m. They just bounced, you know? And they ended up in the UK. You know, it was one of those. I'm not going to say how they did it. I'm not going to say how they did it, but you already know, man. Shout out to them.
I just think it's influence, isn't it?
It is. But like the thing is, it's like, it started... Like, obviously, at the beginning, it was the Jamaicans everywhere. And then they were copying the Jamaicans. And then all of a sudden, they're like, they knew a lot of Arabs and Jamaicans there. And I feel like, because, bro, we're just naturally hustlers. And we always stay with the language. Like, I've never seen a Somali. Probably there is, but, like, they always have to add it in whatever language they're using. Like in Arabic, you see a guy's like wallahi in Arabic, and when they're in Denmark, they probably use wallahi in,
100%.
You know what I mean? Like wherever they go, they still use their lingo in the language they're based in, you know?
The biggest, I feel like, from where I was raised, one of the biggest communities are Iraqis, Yemenis, Somalis, and they're in these kind of segregated housing units where you're raised around them, you're always going to be around them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you go to the UK or you go to Denmark or you go to, I don't find much Somalis in LA.
Okay.
You know, but Canada for sure. Ottawa, where I was raised, so many, and they're very talented people.
Yeah.
They're in Canada, most of them are poets and writers, and they get into the rapping thing. And then when I moved to Toronto, there's a lot of Somalis who kind of got into photography. They're kind of talented in this whole spoken art, visual art.
I think what is prominent is that if you're yourself, then it will always filter through. Do you know what I'm saying? Because where I'm coming from, the UK, there are areas where, you know, predominantly Somalian people that live there, but they've always been themselves. They've managed to blend in. Yeah. And I think once that's the case and they're true to themselves, then it will overlap into the mainstream and stuff like that. Same thing with like, you know, Afro beats and, you know, like whether it's Somalian slang or like Jamaican culture, because they've never tried to conform to Western culture. Definitely. And then it starts to leak through. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting when you hear it in music, when you hear it in just slang in itself or, you know, a lifestyle. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's because it's strong. Like I feel like the Jamaican culture is kind of strong, you know. and wherever they go, they still use their own culture. Like they love their culture, you know. And like Arabs, the same. Like Arabs, they always, wherever they go, they always live together around whatever they. You know,
I think you just got to be proud of where you're from and represent where you're from and rep it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you make it. Like that's how I think you stay original. And people trying to be original all over the place. Just be you, bro. Like people are gonna love you if you look real and you're authentic. You know.
Okay, so say for example, I want to, you know, turn myself into an influencer. Yeah. So
here we go again.
Yeah. So I need the blueprint. Yeah. I say to Freek, yo, I need a photographer. I need someone that's creative. He says, look, I got a guy. His name's Creations. Give him a shout. He'll work with you. I speak to you. You name your price. I respect your price, and we start working. What is the benefit of working with you that you would say, other than going somewhere else?
It depends what you want to deliver.
Okay.
Like, do you want documentation, or do you want to create a brand? Because what happens when you create with me, in a sense, there's a lot of thought process before we shoot. It's not like, yo, come out, take pictures of me. I just want picture just to post. Kind of, it's dead, you know?
Right.
I want to be able to kind of sit down, figure out what the photo shoot's going to be. Let's do something fire because I want people to talk about it.
Okay.
The more fire it is, the more the branding around you is like, yo, this guy looks good in pictures. This guy is fresh. And not only that, he's creating a story in, however, for instance, like I did a shoot. I went out to the Ras Al Khaimah mountains, put a chair out in the middle of the road, put a light, photoshopped the light out, and created a TV, a floating TV.
Right.
That to people's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Called the virtual show.
Yeah.
You know, that
Innovative.
Innovative goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people doing the same thing. And I don't want, if I create with somebody else, I kind of create a brand around them that is more of establish respect, you know, for your image.
I think what you're getting at is you're able to portray your vision into reality, or you know, into photography as such. Would that be a good way of?
Yeah, 100%.
Where, you know, a lot of people are not able to do that. They might have the right vision, or they might have the right message that they want to portray in their lyrics, but they can't find a way to construct that sentence, or they can't find a way to portray that into a camera. So I think that's what separates good artists from bad artists.
Definitely.
Not really. Sorry to interrupt. Because there's a lot of people who think and cannot translate that into photography. They're still great artists because they're thinking they may not have the resources to do it.
Yeah, but don't you think, all right, they could be great thinkers and innovators, but they're not great creators because they're not able to portray that or get their message across.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Unless it's supposed to be abstract. That's different.
Right, okay.
But I'm saying, like, you know.
They're creative directors. They're not photographers.
Right.
They limit themselves to respect yourself that there's another person that is able to deliver that and execute it for you.
So they will come to you and say, look, I want X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to go about it.
Exactly.
So take that and run with it.
It's like you're a composer. You can't produce. In a way, it's like, yo, put that beat together, and the other person's technical.
Yeah.
That person is more powerful than a photographer or a producer because he has the vision.
But the person that's even more powerful than that person is the person that can do all of it. And you would fall under that umbrella, right?
Yeah, one-man army type.
Okay, all right. No, I rate that.
Yeah.
I rate that.
But what's unfortunate, we had this conversation 2 days ago. He asked a really good question. He said, is it better to be living in a place that's saturated with creatives or in a place where there's barely any creatives? And for me, I'm just like, that's an incredible question. But when you're in a place where there's no creatives, you work so hard to build a community around that place that you're a part of, and you try to create and inspire others to become, because if there's no creative, there must be a reason why they're not there. They're not in that scene, or maybe they're not confident to get into it. Especially in the Middle East, how I was raised as well. No parents want you to kind of be pursuing that artistic direction.
Yeah.
You know, it's like doctor, lawyer, banker, businessman, whatever. So I think that's what it is here. But so it's kind of less competition, but it gets boring after that. You want to bounce off ideas with creatives.
Yeah.
You want to work. It's like you want to walk into a shop and you come across someone who's Photoshopped. It's like, yo, you Photoshop. That's sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the States, there's the pros and cons. The pros is, bro, endless. Some guy shooting, the next day some guy hits you up, you're in LA, let's do something. I'm creating a campaign, I'm styling the shoot. It's like, whoa, this is overwhelming. But at the end of the day, it's so saturated, you start at the bottom of the ladder and it takes you forever.
Yeah.
So the confidence here, the misconstrued mentality that people have is like, yo, because it's not saturated.
Because there's four of us and I'm the guy.
Yeah, I feel you'll be eaten alive.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the individual. You know what I'm saying? In a sense of like, some people will rather be the big fish in the small pond. Yep. And that they're comfortable with that. You understand? But if you're trying to aspire to be more, then go in the big pond and try and be the big fish there. Because that's the real, you know what I'm saying? That's the lake, world. Should I say.
If you have experienced this, then you can go here.
Yeah.
But if you're only here, you're too comfortable.
Yeah.
And you will never grow.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know?
So what's your...
Bro, I know a lot of people, when we grew up, they wanted to be artists. And like, man, I think the only reason I'm not popping, because I'm not in the States. I'm not in Canada. Like, I'm not in the industry. And they're like, you know what? When I graduate, I'll go. Bro, 2 years later, they came back. It's like, I quit. I don't want to be. I don't want to do this, because they saw what it is. They saw people working 3 jobs, and they're better than them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're even more talented than the people with nothing. Like, but because then again, like, and then it clicked. I'm like, you don't have to be there to actually make it. Like, it's all in your head. You think you go to the industry, you're gonna make it. Now you can build whatever you are.
Yeah, and you gotta like kind of master where you are in order to move on. You're trying to go from level 1, 2 to level 10. Like, you're in the deep end. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes the deep end is good, but you have to have the right mentality. You have to have that hustler in you in order to be able to succeed.
Face, you're trash. Like, can you take
Are you able to swallow that and continue?
Yeah. Some people can't.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, you know, I think there's one more question that I want to ask. It seems as if, you know, you're quite well-rounded. You know what you provide. You know what product you have to offer and services. Going forward, what's your future looking like? What are you trying to, achieve going forward? I think, we spoke off camera. I'm not too sure if you want to mention that.
Not yet.
Yeah, I hear that.
But
so it's safe to say that you have some, foresight, but, what you trying to work towards, or what you trying to achieve, or?
I think this whole COVID-19 is a blessing. This whole moment of where everything slowed down and a lot of people, their regular lifestyle has been put on pause, changed my perspective on a lot of things. I felt like we as humans get a little too complacent with what we do, that we forget that we need to achieve more.
Okay.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I had the time to sit down and think about what I'm doing, what I could be doing. So yeah, man, I'm the whole photography thing kind of taken to the next level to be more of a creative director and let people execute my ideas. I have the clothing line that's inshallah coming very soon, Control Room. And then I have some side projects that I'm working on passionately because I want to be able to build and grow myself more. I don't want to kind of just be in one place and just work on something for so long and then just, where do I go from this?
Yeah. So basically you're branching out. You feel like you've mastered a certain field, and now you're trying to branch out and conquer other directions, still within that same circle, but other avenues to say. Yeah, I hear that. You got any more questions, Freek?
Bro, not really, man. Shit. Like,
hold on, just to tie up the knots though. Like, you did his album cover. Is that correct?
Okay. I have something to tell you, man. No, I'm joking.
what?
Yeah, man. So I had the honor, you know what I mean, to get LA on the album cover. You know,
Right.
gang shit.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it was actually
Watch out,
a casual shoot, bro. He just came out. We played basketball. I asked him to help me with some pictures, and then I offered. I wanted to take pictures of him. The pictures came out better than I thought.
Yeah, seen it. It looks
I
proper.
was like, yo, Jesus, like
It wasn't.
rented a studio.
We didn't actually. It was outside.
It's back to that organic stuff.
Yeah.
Straight
And then
always.
after the shoot, he sent it to me. I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna put it as a cover. It's like, okay, do you want me to change something? I'm like, bro, nothing. Just put my name on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan that, so
That's a vibe.
Appreciate
Man.
that a lot.
well, a gang.
Always.
Yeah, gang. All right. Well, yeah, man. That's the crossover. Thanks for coming through, bro. Appreciate it.
Always, man.
I think it's important to speak about like perceptions of, you know, social media and influencers and stuff like that, and, you know, give direction to people that are up and coming. And, you know, there's people that are going to be trying to follow your blueprint, Freek's blueprint, my blueprint. Do you understand? We all got something here to offer because we've been here for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think that's important, man.
Inspirers, fam.
You know the vibes. You know the vibes. So yeah, man. So this is the Crossover DXB. Stay locked in. We got loads of stuff coming. Can't wait to launch out, and you know the vibes. So we are out.
Out.
Out.